Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some disappointing products. Now these are not bad products as such, it's just that it didn't work out for me. So I feel like I always need to give this disclaimer because a lot of people are really sensitive, they get really offended and take it very personally. Just like how you don't like some products, I don't really like some products, and what I really like you might really dislike. So it's a very personal, subjective opinion. And also because my skin type and preference could be a lot different from what you have. Again, our choices would vary. So yeah, I do these videos every now and then so that I can let you guys know not just the positive about every single product, but some negatives as well. So let's get started. A couple of products I'm going to be talking about are foundations. I have quite a few disappointing like foundations based products. So the first one is, of no surprise, this one is the Type Beauty Decrease Serum Foundation. Now I got this one because I thought that they are making different products catering to different skin types. I absolutely love the primer from this brand that I tried out, the Overdue Plump Primer, which I felt was a really nice hydrating primer. But this one is a Decrease Serum Foundation, which I don't feel like is like a serum foundation. Even it's not very like lightweight on the skin. It was emphasizing a lot of texture, clinging onto my skin differently, exaggerating things sometimes you don't even know existed on your face until you apply a certain product and you're like, okay, why does my skin texture look a certain way? Why does my skin look a certain way? Is it really this drying? Is my skin like this? It looks so dehydrated. Is it really how my skin looks in person? So that's how this foundation makes my skin look. It doesn't really settle onto the lines of my on my face, like my forehead lines or my smile lines, but it kind of settles differently on various parts of my face, and piles up differently, and it just looks very, very bad. So I would personally suggest staying away from this foundation. The same thing goes with the Plum Soft Blend Weightless Foundation. I don't feel like it's a very weightless foundation. To me, it looks very powdery, it looks very cakey, it looks visibly like I have foundation on my face. So right now I'm looking at foundations that look seamless, just look like your second skin. Even if it is giving you good coverage, I don't want it to look like it's working really hard to give me that, and sucking out all of that moisture from my face, just exaggerating things I didn't want to be exaggerated in the first place. And my skin is pretty normal to dry skin, and it works pretty well. I mean, like, most products work really well on my skin type. It's not like some of the products are performing badly because my skin is a certain way, because I really like the way my skin is, okay, and I really take good care of it, be it in terms of like the nutrition, in terms of what I eat, and also the products that I apply on my face. So if a product doesn't work, I'm just like, you had to do that to my skin, didn't ya? So the next one, I forgot to talk about this one. This one is the K Beauty Color Correcting Primer. This one is in the orange variant. It doesn't color correct anything. It is a pretty good pore filling primer, but doesn't correct anything really on your face, and it's quite pricey as well. So I would say skip this one. And I don't think color correcting primers in general work out that well. For that, you can use color correctors instead. And I have quite a few K Beauty products. You will see why as we progress with the video. And then for foundation, again, these two are super hyped foundations, which I was really disappointed with, and they are pricey, okay, they are a pretty penny, and I will mention my reasons. So this one is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. So this is not really soft matte. I feel like it's a very like a matte foundation, like it looks visibly matte like paint on your face, and it's certainly not for people with normal to dry skin type. So if you have very oily skin and you live in very humid climates, maybe you would really like this foundation, but I am not someone who lives in that kind of a climate, or nor is my skin type very like oily. And I also feel like finding your right shade match in this particular foundation range is a little bit harder. So I got this one in the shade 300, which is just like straight up yellow. I am of a warm skin type, but I don't want my foundation to have that visible yellow tint. So when I applied this in that video, it was a haul video, a lot of you guys were like, oh my god, face just straight up looks like you have jaundice. It's so yellow. So that's how it makes my face look. And the other one is also a very popular foundation. This one is the Rare Beauty foundation. This one is their not sure of the name. Again, a pretty matte foundation, and this I got in the shade 320W. Again, I went personally into a store and tried out. There were a couple of shades that I feel like were missing, like for certain skin tones, and there's not much I could do to get my perfect shade match. Again, this one is a little too yellow for my liking, and it just is again very, very matte on the skin. So if you have very oily skin, like I mentioned for the previous foundation, or you live in a certain climate type, I think you would like it. But if you didn't want it to look like, you visibly have a lot of makeup on, like foundation on, it looks like Asian paints on your face, then I think you should stay away from that. Maybe you can try out the skin tint from these brands, which were not like, certain parts of the world, they don't prefer skin tints, they prefer more full coverage foundation. They're still in that older makeup trend where even sales assistants don't sell skin tints to you. Like, I was trying to look at the skin tints, but he was like, no, why do you want to try this out? It has like barely any coverage. Why do you want to try this? Try out the foundations. These are more like popular. So it's again a very like, I feel like, regional thing and where you live and what is the preference. But I think you can try out the skin tints from this brand. Maybe that would work out a lot better. Coming to the concealers from both of these brands, Fenty and the Rare Beauty concealers, they are pretty decent concealers. They have medium high coverage, but they can be slightly drying and not the most long wearing concealers. I'm not as disappointed with my concealers as much as I am with the foundation, but again, I feel like, for the price you pay, there are much better options available in the market. The Too Faced Born This Way concealer, that's one of the best concealers I've tried out. It's like 15 ml of product, pretty much like a foundation, and it just is good coverage, sits really well underneath the eye, very long wearing. You don't even have to really set it sometimes. It's that good. And then again, there are very affordable options in the market that perform a lot better than these really super expensive concealers. I mean, if they are your absolute favorite and you're like, these are your absolute favorite products, you're like a ride or die for this brand, so be it. Okay, I'm not trashing the brands, I'm just talking about the particular products. There are some products I do absolutely love from these brands, because naturally there are some products that wouldn't work out for me. And then let's talk about, okay, this one is the Milani illuminating primer. This has a very weird tint on it. It has sort of like a silver looking tint which contrasts with my natural skin tone, and again the shimmer particles are quite large. They're not very finely milled, and it's not a very like hydrating illuminating primer. It's just illuminating your face. I mean, not even like illuminating your face, adding a little bit of shimmer particles to your face without actually doing much. So if you do happen to find this particular product on Myntra for really good discount, I think you can stay away from it. It's not the best product I have seen. And then let's talk about a few concealers. Again, the Type Beauty concealers, I have mentioned this in the review video as well. It was not my favorite. It faded away in just a whiff, like 20 minutes after blending, and even setting it didn't work out. It just faded away. It's not like bad in terms of coverage or anything. It was pretty good, medium coverage, but just that the lasting power was not my favorite, and the way it was sitting underneath my eyes again was not my favorite. And so I have better options for that. And the same thing goes with the Flower Beauty concealer, not the most long wearing concealer, and yeah, just for the price, I don't feel like I can justify how it looks underneath the eyes. I want it to stay in place. The NYX Serum concealer is really nice, very affordable. The Inside HD concealer, again, super affordable, works really well. Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, all of these are really affordable, way affordable, much more affordable than these concealers. You can still try those out. I don't think you have to spend your money on this. And then talking about some blushes, this one is the Mars Flush of Love blush. I know this is a very affordable brand, and it would have been great if this blush actually worked out for me, because there are a lot of products from this particular brand that have worked out like a charm for me. I've reached out for time and time again and recommended to you guys as well. There are some products from a certain brand, even though it's like they've produced really good products, some products just don't work out for you, and this is one such product. I feel like it's a very, very matte blush. Okay, I am all in for matte blushes, but I want that soft matte finish, and I want that little bit of that soft press to it. This is extremely matte, sort of drying and cakey on the face, and it kind of clings on to the texture on your face. I mean, everyone has texture, but this will exaggerate it, emphasize it, and look really, really drying on the face. So that's why this is in my disappointing list. And then I have the K Beauty cream blush. Now, when this was originally launched, a lot of people recommended this because they said it was really nice and dewy. It's a very like beautiful cream blush. I feel like it has a different consistency compared to a lot of cream blushes I've tried out. It has sort of like that moussey finish, which is very different. And I was like, okay, yeah, nice. And it's also a very buildable formulation. There's no problem with the pigmentation. It's just that I don't feel like it looks that good on my skin type. Again, normal to dry skin type. And it doesn't have a nice dewy finish or anything. And it just stays on your skin. It stays there. It stays visibly there. It doesn't look nice and seamless. It doesn't look, I don't know, like a lot of cream blushes that I own, which adds a little bit of dewiness. That's what I look for. And also, it should just blend in with the rest of your makeup. But this one kind of piles up, and you can see kind of like, those cakey formation on your face, and like every like inch of your skin is a little bit exaggerated wherever this blush exists. So I am not a very big fan of this, and I feel like that's the case for me with a lot of K-beauty products. Like I feel like they are a little bit too hyped. There are some products that absolutely work out really well, but most of the products I have tried out have not worked out for me. And the same thing goes with their highlighter, their loose powder. The loose powder, a lot of people find this to be like the really like super finely milled loose powder that doesn't cake up or dry your under eye area out at all. But I beg to differ, because I feel like it is a little bit heavy for me, and it just like dries out even a concealer that usually wouldn't dry out my under eye area. Because I've tested this with concealers that are new, that are like some of my older concealers. Some of those concealers would never ever do that to my under eye area, like dry my under eye area out, settle onto the lines and make it look very dry. But this one does that. I'm not sure if this is specifically only for people with oily skin. It's not like people with normal to dry skin cannot use loose powders at all, because I have used the Huda Beauty Easy Bake loose powder. Absolute favorite. It is super finely milled. It in fact sets your makeup really well. Also adds a tiny amount of glow as well. And the Inside HD banana loose powder, the one that comes in that tub, it's for like 100 something rupees, or I think they've increased the price, I'm not very sure, but it's very very affordable, and it doesn't look like that. And it is something that can work for people with normal to dry skin as well, because it's sort of light. It is something that doesn't cake up underneath your eyes. It doesn't do that. It doesn't suck the moisture out from your under eye area or even the rest of your face. But I feel like this was a little bit heavy for my preference. Maybe if you have very oily skin and you wanted to set it all over your face, you would absolutely love it. And I can see people liking it. It's not a very bad product, but it's just that it didn't work out for me. And then we have a blush. This is a super popular blush. This is the Pixi On The Glow blush. I have this one in the shade Ruby. This is not a bad product at all. It is a decent product, but for the price point, I feel like, really, do we have to build on it that much? You have to build on it quite a bit for it to show up. It's not the most pigmented blush. This is a red shade, and even this one I have to like build on my skin quite a bit, so I can't imagine the lighter shades working out for my skin tone, and I cannot see the shade working out for people of very deep skin tone as well. And there are so many other pigmented cream blushes in the market that are like half the price, less than half the price, less than quarter of the price as well, and they are so pigmented, so long lasting, just last on your face for a really long time. And this is not a very long lasting blush as well, and it was super hyped that it was sold out for a really long time, and it was kind of hard to get my hands on this. And when I did, I'm like, okay, it's decent. It's a pretty decent product. It looks nice on the skin, but is it the best product I've ever seen? Not really. And is it something that you must absolutely pick up? Not really, because of the price point. And again, you can't find this on discount most of the times, because it is a very popular product. Popular products don't come on discount that easily, and it's not long lasting. It's not pigmented enough. You have to build on it quite a bit. So I'm not sure. If you like it, then if it is your kind of thing, you should definitely try it out. And then I got this LA Girl Velvet Bronzer Contour Stick. This is a very weird undertone. Okay, it's just a little bit orange-ish, and it's not very pigmented. It doesn't show up on my skin. I got this one in the shade Suede. I'm not sure if there are any other shade options available. Not the most blendable contour stick, so there are a lot of other ones that are pigmented, and like for 100 rupees or something, the Itex Dazzler contour stick. Not 100, I think it's a little more, but it is a very pigmented product, slightly harder to blend, but it blends in the end, okay, and it looks good on the skin. And then did I mention about the K Beauty highlighter? Again, marketed as one of like the most smooth looking highlighter that doesn't emphasize any texture on your face, but on the contrary to what was said, it emphasized so much texture on my face. I'm okay with powder highlighters, I know that they do that, but this is just extremely drying. Like in the pan, and when you touch it, it looks really nice and smooth and finely milled, but when you apply it on your face, it's not like that. It kind of splits, it kind of exaggerates a lot of things. So that is when I have a problem with highlighters, and I tend to refrain using those kind of highlighters as well, and I tend to stick to cream highlighters that have more finely milled shimmer particles and something that look like wet, glowy, not dry on my face. So yeah, again, for the price point, I can't justify that. And this one is something I have liked, and I'm not sure if the formula has changed or my preference has changed. This one is the Mars Spectra Glow Liquid Highlighter. This one is in the champagne variant. This has the most weird consistency. So this is a liquid highlighter, so I wish it was in a bottled packaging or something like that, because it's very liquidy. Let me show you, like I mean, like, can you hear that? I'm not going to open this because it creates a mess every time. And just opening it will squirt the product out everywhere. You can't even like get it to show up on your face. Like, it's not of that consistency where you can actually even pick up the product. So what you're left with is just some runny liquid and a little bit of shimmer mixed in that liquid. So it hardly even like shows up on your face. Maybe you can apply it all over your face, but it is a little too shimmery for that. If you wanted to just use it as a highlighter, it is a pretty good highlighter, but I just wish it had more of a creamier consistency, a little bit more thicker, so that it was in this squeezy tube packaging, and it would be more efficient that way. Like, it either has to be of a thicker consistency to be in this packaging, or change the packaging all over, just make it into a liquid highlighter, dropper style. And then we have two mascaras. This one is the Makeup Revolution Game of Thrones mascara. This doesn't do anything to your lashes, no length, no volume. And next up we have the Maybelline Sky High mascara. This is a very, very hyped product. I feel like it is pretty decent. Okay, it adds a decent amount of length and volume, but I don't really get the hype about this particular mascara. Why was it so hyped? Because I have the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift mascara, and this is my absolute favorite Maybelline mascara. It works really well. It's what I have right now. It adds really good length, volume. It makes your eyelash look really nice and black. So I don't really get the hype about this waterproof mascara. And then for lips, we have some lip balm. This one is the Ras Luxury Oil Lush Lips lip balm. Didn't work out for me. Extremely, like, it moisturizes for maybe like 10 minutes, then strips your lip dry. I just didn't like it. The Juicy Chemistry Blood Orange and Rosehip Organic Lip Balm, a lot of people really like this one. Again, for me, it's just not enough, and it's just like okay for the first half an hour, and after which my lips become extremely dry, chapped, so I don't reach out for it at all. And then the Minimalist Lip Balm, again a very hyped lip balm. All of these have that similar waxy consistency, but they just don't work out for my lips. I have very dry, chapped lips, and I always look for something more. And then the last two lip products, we have the Clinique Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. Very, very popular, very hyped, very raved after product. Out of stock for a really long time. It was a task to get my hands on this. It is like a tinted lip balm. Okay, it's an almost lipstick, but for my kind of lips, especially with pigmentation and everything, you need to build on it quite a lot for it to show up. It's not the most moisturizing formulation, and it's not, again, very long lasting, and it's not worth the hype for me personally. I think if you have like lighter lips than I do, then it might show up really well. It might look good on you if you have lighter skin tone, or if you're of my skin tone or deeper, maybe you have to line your lips and then use this. And so yeah, there are a lot of other nice tinted lip balms in the market. I'm not sure why we need these. And then the last one is the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk and Pillow Talk Medium. These don't work out for me at all. I don't find them to be pigmented enough. You have to layer on so much for it to show up. Even Pillow Talk Medium, like, it doesn't show up on my lips that well. I have to layer it on a couple of times. I'm not happy with the pigmentation, I'm not happy with the finish in general or the lasting power of this. And for the price tag, you know, I can't justify it. Maybe if it was of a much affordable price tag, I wouldn't be like including it in this video, but the amount of hype it receives and the price it's sold at, I just wish it was a little bit better. I'm not expecting a matte lipstick all the time. I know matte lipsticks are a lot more pigmented, but I have the Shiseido lipstick, and those are creamy lipsticks as well, but they are really nice and pigmented, and they work out for different skin tones, not just for people with light skin tone, naturally pink lips and all of that. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. There are a couple of dupes for this particular lipstick, half the price, less than half the price of this, that work out like a charm, that are more pigmented, that look so much better, you know, a slight shade difference, but would look so much better on your lips. Or again, very affordable, better formulation, better pigmentation. So definitely try those out. I have talked about it in multiple videos of mine, and there are going to be more dupes coming up in multiple videos of mine. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and let me know what product that is like super hyped or something that you recently tried out that didn't work out for you at all. Let's have that healthy conversation in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about these products in the comment section down below, and let me know what other videos you'd like to watch. And while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.